Good afternoon. Welcome to ARDEX's demonstration of our uncoupling membranes, our FLEXBONE. We have two wonderful products we want to show you today. Again, they're called FLEXBONE. As you can see, a very unique shape to our uncoupling membranes. They have a bone-shaped structure, a little different than some of the other products in the industry that you may be used to. And we'll get into the benefits of that structure in a little bit. But first of all, I want to tell you about a very unique product. It's ARDEX UI 720. It is the only floating uncoupling membrane in the industry. Why is a floating uncoupling membrane important? As an example, we have different floor coverings here. So you may run into a situation where you cannot do removal of an existing floor. Too much dust, too much debris. You may have people working in a building or a home where people have allergies. You may have VCT, cut-back adhesive. You may have wood, paint, and some other things on a surface that you cannot do grinding or shot blasting. This is an opportunity to go into an installation and basically roll the mat out. And you can install towel directly to it. The very first thing we do is we apply our foam installation strip around the perimeter of the walls, also up against any abutments. Again, this is a floating floor, so you want to have movement in the floor. And that foam installation strip is going to provide that 1/4-inch expansion around the room and allow this installation to move freely. The very first sheet, we cut off the overlap tape. The roll comes with an overlap tape. The reason for that is now the second roll can roll right on top of it, one after another, locking the two sheets in. And then, of course, you would take your thin-set mortar and flat trowel over top of that seam, and it's going to lock those two sheets in strongly. The UI 720 is rated for light commercial, which means it can not only be used in residential, but it can also be used in retail boutique shops, where these shops may have to change their floor coverings out every couple years. As all they do is install their towel on the UI 720, 2 to 3 years later, cut out the grot joints, lift up the towel and the 720, carry it out the door, come back in, roll out new product, and start installing tile. When you come to the end of the mat, there's no overlap tape. So we have a product, it's a seam reinforcement tape, where you would apply that at the end of the roll, where the end rolls to meet up with the new roll. And again, you would flat trowel that, and you would make that mortar connection strong between the two mats. So again, the UI 720 is a perfect product for not only just residential, but light commercial applications as well. We have a product, it's a expansion strip tape. The only recommendation for this tape is you have to allow expansion joints to come up through the assembly. That includes through the uncoupling mat. So if we had an expansion joint here, we're going to use this expansion joint tape just to cover that joint so no mortar gets in between, and then we're going to start our next roll about 1/4 inch away from the first roll. The next product is our bonded FLEXBONE UI 740. This product has no limitations. This product is rated extra heavy for the Robinson floor test, which means it can go in all applications. It can go in airports, shopping malls, colleges, as well as residential. We have a very strong scrim on the back of the mat, which makes this product very strong with shear bond strength. Plus, the open structure of the FLEXBONE mat itself takes more mortar in it, which also helps with the shear strength of the towel assembly. There's a couple ways you can apply this product. You can use a modified ARDEX mortar like X5, X77, X78, or S28 to install it. Today, we're going to use our one-component AF207 uncoupling adhesive. The beauty of this product is you don't have to wait for a mortar to cure overnight. You can install this product, install your mat, and directly get on top of it and start installing tile. is all it takes is a small V-notch trowel, 3/16 by 5/32. Again, it's one component. You can put the lid on the back of the bucket, carry it to the next room. If you're doing multi-units, apartment buildings, this is a great product to use to save time and energy. So Tim's troweling out the AF207. You can see it only takes a small amount of adhesive. Uncoupling has become a very popular application for towel installations in the market now for many reasons. There's a lot of different types of shear forces that affect floor coverings. For residential over wood, it could be a lot of movement because you're over joist. For concrete, it could be expansion and contraction issues. This is where an uncoupling product like FlexBone really helps that towel assembly and protects your towel. Okay, once the adhesive is installed, we're now ready to embed the UI 740 into the adhesive. And then you have a couple options. You can use a rubber float, you can use a flat trowel, or you can use a roller to embed the mat into the surface. You want to make sure that you push out the air and that you want to always check to make sure you're getting good coverage. As soon as Tim's done, we'll check for coverage. Perfect coverage. And again, that was with the very small notch V-notch trowel. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you a product called ARDEX S28 Flowable Self-Drying Mortar. This mortar is self-drying, which means that it's going to crystallize the moisture in the mortar itself. It's not going to evaporate any moisture, causing issues to natural stone. Also, if you're using a large towel, a large porcelain towel, over a membrane, that moisture underneath that towel could stay under there for a long, long time before it cures out. This product is going to be completely cured in 4 hours. It's a pourable product, as you see being installed. And we're going to show you something that's really unique, the way the FlexBone is able to be encapsulated on one swipe of the trowel. No back and forth motion to fill in this membrane. So as you see, even as fluid as this product is, Tim's using a 1/2 by 1/2 notch trowel and the ridges are staying proud. And the reason for that, it is formulated to be at this consistency. If you would take any other mortar and overwater it to get this consistency, those trowel notches would slump down. And that would, not only they would slump, they would cause you to have lippage in your towel installation, and also the mortar itself is going to be weak because it's overwatered. So Tim's going to install a 24 by 24 porcelain towel into the S28. He's going to press and move it back and forth, collapse his ridges, and then we'll check for coverage. Almost 100% coverage. Again, very unique product, but perfect for this type of installation. The tiles are only getting bigger in our industry. That's why these type of products are very, very important. So to recap, we showed you the UI 720, the floating FlexBone uncoupling membrane, the UI 740, the bonded uncoupling membrane, the ARDEX S28 self-drying flowable mortar. Can I answer any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry, go ahead, sir. Yes, you can use it on walls. So that's a great question. All of our mortars have a water ratio. If you mix it to the lower water ratio, this is mixed to the high water ratio for floors. You mix it to the low water ratio, as long as you're within that water ratio, this product is going to perform and you'll get a good application for walls. Thanks for that question. ARDEX S28. ARDEX 5000 is not a product in the U.S., so I don't know the comparison. Yep. The walk-on time's 4 hours, sir. Yep. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
That one costs less than this one.
So the question was, does the floating membrane cost less than the bonding membrane? It does not. It's a little bit more, but you have to realize the cost savings in not only the labor, but the material, because you're not bonding this mat. So you're saving all the labor and the material that would go to put this mat down. It's just a little bit more, though. Okay. Yes, sir. Immediately. Yep. That's the difference between using a mortar and an adhesive. The adhesive will not displace as much when you kneel on it. And if it did, you just push it back down because it's an adhesive. It's going to have a grab. Where a mortar, once it's displaced and dries, you have hollow spots. So it's very important to let a mortar cure overnight. Yes? No, this product can be installed over 3/4 inch exterior grade plywood or OSB. Yep. Yes, sir. The question is, what is the cleanup of the adhesive? So if you wash your tools and your hands quickly, you can just use soap and water. If you let it dry for a bit of time, you're going to have to use mineral spirits to clean off your tools. Okay. Anyone else? Thank you very much.